Good day and welcome back to the Family Cyber Clinic. This week, we are going to touch on something that I'm quite excited about. I actually couldn't wait to share this information with you. And more so because I'm a grandpa and I have, a little one, a granddaughter who, needless to say, with the history around her, she is going to love tech. And I want to get to a place where some of the things, in fact, most of the things I've been advising you parents to do when it comes to children, I get to do it with her all over again. Of course, I had the opportunity to do a lot of these things with my own boys, our own boys, I should say, and I've learned along the way. And of course, I've learned giving you this information each waking week. Now, because I know that Bella, who is my granddaughter, is going to be involved in tech, I was looking for ways to secure devices, internet-enabled devices, secure them before we hand it over to them, rather to her, when the time comes, and I've had discussions about should we or shouldn't we and all that, so I went away and I did some research. And what I got to find, I'm almost ashamed that I haven't shared this with this community. And it's been out there. So it's quite possible that some of you have wandered across it. But for those who haven't, you're very welcome. Okay? So it's, and I must say this as a disclaimer, that I use the iPhone. And of course, all this is going to involve an iPhone, iOS, Apple, okay? I don't know what happens on the Google Android platforms. Now, like I've said many times, if you want to, learn how to do it on those platforms, put it in the comments, make a request, and I'll go research it and come back and do that very thing for you. But if you don't, I'm going to stick to the iPhone or Apple ecosystem because that's what I'm used to. Okay? So anytime I mention tablet, know that I'm talking about the iPad. If I mention a smartphone, I am referring to an iPhone. Okay? So I get that out of the way so that you're not waiting for another version. Okay? So the title of the video, I've said if you have a child and you want to give the child a tablet on iPhone, you must do these things. And you're going to find it's going to be quite wordy, and it's slightly longer than normal for a weekly video, but it is well worth it, okay? Make sure you share this information with your friends, your family. Make sure they get to know this because it could well save them a lot of money, and certainly it will save them a lot of hassle in the future. As you know, rogues are not your friends, and to get them away from our kids is this channel's #1 priority, okay? So if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you must do these things if you're going to hand those devices to a child. And there are other secondary uses of this feature that I'm going to introduce to you that we can explore later, time permitting, okay? I'm so excited. I don't know whether you can tell. I am so excited. Okay, what is this feature? It is called guided access. Yes, there it is, guided access. And it's quite possible, like I said, that you've heard about this. But please be patient with me as I teach or inform other people who haven't, okay? All right, so how do you enable guided access? All the other times I've shared videos where I need to use a smartphone, I just plug my iPhone and go. This time, I'm plugging in a tablet, an iPad, so that you can see exactly what it will happen, because I know most of us will give our young ones, our kids, an iPad. But everything I'm doing on this iPad is the very same thing you would do on an iPhone, okay? So don't be worried. You can do this on an iPhone when we discuss that thing I mentioned earlier. Okay, so guided access. What is it? It's an accessibility function that allows you, a parent, to narrow down the amount of stuff the child gets exposed to while they're doing or playing an app on the tablet. Okay? That's obviously not a technical description or a technical definition. I'm just explaining it because I want you to understand it. Okay? So if you want to engage your young one in an app that we recommend, which I'm going to show you today, is YouTube Kids. You want your child to be exposed to content that's appropriate for their age, okay? So you're obviously going to run an app that is designed that way. So if you want only that app to be the only thing that runs whilst your child, your young one, is in possession of the tablet, the iPad, guided access is your friend. It totally transforms your iPad for solo use, which means that none of those gotchas or the things that could pop up whilst your child is playing their game or watching a show, none of that will happen whilst you're in this mode. And the child cannot guess your password or, use Face ID to log in, because that's the only way you disable it. So once it's enabled, it stays in that mode until you disable it, which means that that's all the child is going to do. I'm speaking too much. Let's go to the iPad and see exactly how we enable this. And like I said, I'm going to use an example like YouTube Kids being the app that I'm going to open. So bear with me. I hope you're excited. If you are, make sure you put a like, like the video. If so far you're enjoying it, and needless to say, scan that QR code to subscribe and be part of this family where we will share information like this every week. And the last Saturday of the month, we have a live Q&A. Exciting stuff, okay? Stop talking, Lawrence. We go to the iPad. Okay, so you can see, whether you believe it or not, I want you to believe it. That is the iPad. That's my lovely wife. Hi. Okay, so I log into the iPad. Okay. Now you go to the settings app, which is this one. Okay. When you go to settings, you've got to look for accessibility. Okay. You click on accessibility. If you're just joining, we're enabling guided access. Let me put this on so that you can see me properly. Okay, let's see. Let's go. There you go. All right. Okay. So as you can see, the accessibility is under. I don't know. It's not moving on. Okay. So accessibility is. Sorry, I'm slightly distracted by this, so I'm going to do this properly. All right, there you go. Let's see if that works this time. Okay. Well, it's well worth the wait, so please just bear with me. Okay, so you can see that I'm in accessibility. Okay, if you scroll all the way down to the general section, you can see guided access. Okay, so you click on guided access and it's off at the moment. And it tells you that guided access keeps the iPad in a single app and allows you to control which features are available. Okay, to start guided access, it tells you that you triple click the home button in the app you want to use. And we will show you all this. I will show you all this. Okay. So let's enable it. We enable it. And it comes up with several options. First of all, it's going to request passcode settings. So because I already have Touch ID on this iPad, don't have Face ID, it's Touch ID, I can use Touch ID to end guided access when that time comes. But ultimately, you set a guided access password. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same one as your, the normal passcode you use to log into the iPad. You can set it to be something else. I'm just going to set something. Okay, then it'll ask you to confirm it. All right. So now I have set a passcode that I can use when guided access is enabled. Okay. The other things we can play around with, time limits. Who would know that these things exist? So you can play a sound and have the remaining guided access time spoken before time ends. This just takes care of everything whilst you are able, not saying everybody should just go and do their own thing and give a kid an iPad unattended. Ultimately, you'll be looking in every now and then, of course, as a good parent, okay? But it allows you to set an alarm or speak. So ultimately, you can set timers so that the child doesn't stay on the app for so long, okay? Then there's this, and this will come in handy if time permitting. We'll go over this. When you triple click the home button during a session, a guided access session, accessibility shortcut settings will be displayed. So you would see when I demonstrate what will happen, okay? Then of course the last one is display auto lock. You, depending on how long you want the child to be on this thing, I'll set it for now to never, just so that it doesn't interfere with what we're doing, okay? But that is all you do, okay? So guided access is enabled. Well, that's all you do for now. Now, I said at the beginning that you can only use guided access whilst an app is open. You can't just turn it on if there's no app open, okay? Like now, if it's just on the home screen, it's not going to open. So we need an app to open. At this point, I would recommend YouTube Kids, okay? I've recommended it in a previous video. I'm doing that again. YouTube Kids. So we're going to install YouTube Kids so that you see exactly how I go through the process. So we go back to the iPad, okay? So we go to the App Store and I'm going to search for YouTube Kids, YouTube Kids. And for some of you who are wondering what's YouTube Kids, it's the children's version of the YouTube you have on your system. And it is formatted, or at least it is prepared for child appropriate content. So the things you see there have been tested to be safe for some kids. Of course, as a parent, you know what's okay with for your kid and all that, but at least they go so far to make sure that there are no gotchas and that you indeed are in a safe place, or your child is in a safe place. So I recommend YouTube Kids because a lot of work has gone in to making it what it is today. Okay, so you can see YouTube Kids there. I have downloaded it in the past, so you will see it at the moment as a cloud item. So by cloud, I mean that cloud and the arrow down. For you, it will just show you Get, if that's not if you've not downloaded it before. So you click Get in your own case. I'm just going to pretend to be clicking Get. I'm clicking the cloud, okay? And it's going to pull down a previously downloaded version of YouTube Kids. In my case, for you, it's going to be fresh, all right? And when it's ready, you should see it turn to open, okay? There you go. It's turned to open. You click on open, and I'm going to go through the process and set it up for you, okay? We set it up because it's important to do this, okay? You can see it says, get a parent to unlock the app. We are parents, so we are the ones configuring the app. So I'll say I'm a parent. Goes through a lot. It is saying something. I don't know whether I can get the audio through, but I don't want to confuse things. But it's going to be saying something, okay? Basically reading out what you're doing. So it says, welcome. Before letting your child explore the fun world of YouTube Kids, take a few minutes to decide an important parental safety controls. Decide on, I should say, okay? Of course, I've read this, but you have to read it, you know? So if you click the arrow, it will now ask you to put your year of birth as the parent. I don't know why they ask this, but they do. So, of course, because it's going to show up on the screen, I'm going to put something that's not quite mine so that people don't have a little bit of my information to create a profile about me if they come across this video. Learn from that, okay? Don't just do stuff like that if you are. So I'm going to put an age. Of course, I can't put 2023 because no parents can be a year old. So I'm going to put 20, that I'm a parent at 30, okay? That will bring it to my math allowing 1993, I think. Yeah, that could mimic as an age. So there's sometimes, and this is not lying, this is just, it is actually, but I'm not lying purposely because I want to deceive. I just don't want the rogue to have that information. Okay, so I've put 1993 and I'm going to confirm, and it shows you text. It is actually doing stuff, but really I can't get to it. Can I? You know what? I'm going to try and see if I can. I love tech, and I don't want playthrough. Be muted.
To a device, your kids' profiles will be ready to go.
There you go.
Sign in with a parent's account and we'll get started.
Now, I don't know whether you're hearing that, but if you are, that's good. But I just wanted you to see. I'm going to repeat it so you can see.
Now you can sign in and create a profile for each kid. If you choose to sign in, you get more controls, whether you want to allow lots of videos or handpick your own. You can also block any videos and channels you don't like. The next time you sign into a device, your kids' profiles will be ready to go. Sign in with a parent's account and we'll get started.
Okay, so I'm going to do that, okay? And already I've done this before, obviously, to prep myself before teaching you. So there's an account that I have chosen that I'm using. I'm signing in now. You would have had to put an email address and a password, excuse me, to obviously get through this. I don't need to do the tour because I obviously have seen it, but if you scroll across, it'll be showing you stuff that you can do, you can learn from, and all that. It says set a timer to lock the app when it's time for your child to take a break. It says, again, to see what your child has watched, go to the home screen and tap watch it again. Block and report videos from the menu. This is all YouTube Kids, giving you control. Tap the lock to change your settings or open the parental guide. Read it, okay? You will find a lot of value from YouTube Kids. So I'll just click done. And then great work, it says Family Cyber Clinic. The app is ready for Bella, hello, Bella to use, okay? So if I click now on Bella, this is YouTube Kids on my tablet, okay? Would I give Bella this tablet as it is now? I believe that's what many of us would have done. If this was a YouTube Kids how-to video, that's it. Many of you would just close shop and you just go, oh, I now have the YouTube Kids app. I can now start using it. But we started this video with guided access. So why or what can I use guided access to do right now? Remember I said guided access allows you to single out an app that you want your child to use and only that app. So nothing can pop up, no other app will pop up, emails won't pop up, nothing. That's all the child will be exposed to. Now, if we give our young one this app this way, and you have malware on your system or rogue things popping up, you could expose your child to filth that they unfortunately are not prepared for. So to prevent that, you can single out this app, and that is all that will show on this system. Now remember that during the guided access, and if you want to pick up from where we stopped on guided access, you can rewind, obviously not now, but you can rewind later to find out how to enable guided access. So for me, or at least from what I said in that section, you triple click the home button. Triple click. And the home button on the, of course, if you have the version I have the one that has Touch ID. So if you have a newer version, forgive me, I know you'll be using Face ID, or you will have to click the power button 3 times. So models that are higher than mine, you may not be doing the Touch ID because it probably doesn't have a touch, a home button. So you'll be clicking the side button or the power button 3 times. So I'm going to click the home button 3 times. And so that you see that I'm doing it, I'm going to take you to see, let me see if I can do this. Is this wise? Probably is. Okay. So I'm holding it. I'm clicking. Can you see there? I'm just going to press that button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Perhaps it's, let's see. 1, 2, 3. It's not showing me what I want. Let's go back to my video so that at least you're not looking at me messing up. 1 second. So guided access. Come on. Oh, Touch ID. Why are you not opening up? Oh, this is not nice at all. Come on. Siri is now getting involved. Go away, Siri. I'm not giving up. We're going to do this, okay? We're definitely going to do this. Okay, so I'm trying to get the... Let's see. Come on. Okay. Don't go away. Don't get bored. Oh, I didn't enable it. Let me show you what I've just done. I had not enabled this. Okay, I had not enabled that. And that was why I couldn't do what I was doing. So I've just enabled it. You have to enable accessibility shortcut so that it shows on this screen. Okay, so I'm going to go back now to where I was showing you what we would do. So that's YouTube Kids, okay? That's me in there. And if I want to secure this app so that it's the only thing that plays. So if I triple click on the home button now, which I'm about to do, see my thumb, okay? It says guided access started. Don't know whether you saw that, but it basically said guided access started. Now, if I want to come out from this section, it's asking me to confirm with a password. I can't leave this game. That's all I'm able to do. Let me go back to this. That's all I'm able to do. I can't quit this. If I want to quit it, okay, let me just play. At least I know Bella. I can only defend Bella. We have, sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I'm looking for Rachel, because that I know. Okay, let me just play that. So basically, for example,
me, Mr. Tumble, and
that's
all of my friends on BBC
Bella will be able to
iPlayer.
watch on this. Nothing else. Okay? If I try to escape or go back to, say, use another, it's not, I'm pressing buttons to go back. The only way I get to to go back to the home area to choose any other app is by disabling guided access. So at this moment, this tablet is only going to be on this. So whilst you're here, you can touch, you can do anything you want to do within the app. That's all Bella is only going to be able to do. Nothing else. Okay? You can't leave this. And you see, if I double click, it says, I don't know whether you can see it. No, I don't think you can. But to exit this, I have to disable guided access.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water.
Oh, that's nice, not bad.
Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came
So I can't do anything other than what you're seeing now. So if I want to come out of it,
Then up Jack got to home, did trot as fast
actually,
as
let's
he
do this
could
live. Let me see if
caper.
it. Okay. Just seen a bug. I've just seen a bug. Okay. I have just seen a bug. It's good that at least I've seen it. Okay. I'd rather it's me that sees the bug. But all you're able to do.
Put in bed to mend his head with vinegar and brown
Oh, I did touch. It's not a bug. I am touching the home button and it's reading my thumbprint. Remember, I enabled Touch ID. So it may be useful not to. I love that this has happened live. It will be important that we realize that we're using Touch ID. And it will apply also if it's Face ID, because Touch ID and Face ID will disable guided access. So you have to be very clear. In fact, I'm now going to advise, just because it's happened to me, do not use Touch ID or Face ID to disable it. You may, when I explain the other bit that I said I was going to do, this has become a very long video, but ultimately that is how you must hand over a tablet, an internet-enabled tablet, to your child. Like I've just done, you open it up, the app that you want, and then triple click the home button, 1, 2, 3, to enable guided access. When the baby is done, like I told you that before, this is all the child gets to do. But because Touch ID or Face ID ends guided access, you've got to be careful. My advice, just based on what I've just done now, is do not enable it. Enable a passcode instead, so that you actually have to type something. I think that's the safest. Okay. But whilst guided access is enabled, the child only gets to do what you opened. In our case, YouTube Kids. Okay. Now, I hope that has helped. You obviously have opportunities to ask questions. Drop it in the comments and I'm going to answer those questions. Now, I said that there are other things, especially for us adults and on our smartphones. So like, remember I told you that if guided access is enabled, or rather that guided access can be enabled on an iPad and of course on an iPhone. Same way we did it, okay? I don't want to mess things up by plugging the iPhone in. It's just going to make things noisy. It's noisy enough already, okay? But ultimately, there are times where you actually want to give your iPhone to another person, okay? And if you don't want them to see or know your business, let's say they ask, okay, please, can I use your iPhone to, log on to the internet, okay? And you don't want them to see any other thing other than the internet that they have requested to see using your phone. What you can do, just like we were able to do it with for Bella, what you do is open Google Chrome or Google Chrome or Safari, the two things that I know that you can have on the iPhone. You open it up and immediately enable guided access. If you enable guided access by triple clicking on the home button, you can hand over the iPhone to the person, and that's all the person gets to see. Google or Safari, you've locked it, and there's no way they can unlock it because you have a passcode they do not know, or you have Touch ID or Face ID, okay? So, of course, if you want it to be quick, super quick, you can use, obviously, in this, that's why I said that you can enable Face ID in that case, or Touch ID. That way, you do it quickly. You don't really have to double click or triple click on the home button. You just, after they've finished it, you just show your face on the phone and it disables guided access. Or you touch the home button with your hand and it just disables it. That's quicker and easier. But like I said, when we were doing it for the tablet for YouTube Kids, I found that I was touching the home button longer than I needed to. And of course, that will disable guided access and becomes useless. But if I've done or enabled guided access and I hand it over to the young one, that's it. Until I'm close to that device again, guided access remains enabled, okay? So it's useful. There are other gestures, like I think you know about the double tap or triple tap that you can do on the back of smartphones or tablets. You can configure it to get enabled by double or triple tapping behind. iPhone users who have used gestures will understand what I'm saying. And of course, if you want more information on any of this, I urge you to put it in the comments. That's the only way we engage. And for me, it will be quite useful if you do that, okay? Do it so that we can engage and even go further, you know, because these kids have to be safe. Like I said, this is priceless. This feature on the iOS or iPad OS is a game changer. Think about it. Rather than go and buy a device that is just designed to just play a particular game, because they sell those in stores and it just does one thing. You just go out and buy it and you present it as a toy for your child. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you already have a tablet in the house, you can actually download an app similarly that plays a child-oriented game, but you narrow it down or you single it out as the only thing that will play on that iPad at the time you hand it over to your child or the child. So it's now single use. All of a sudden, an iPad becomes a single use children's app game device. Beautiful, okay? Just that you could take this even further. But if we engage, please engage me. We'll be able to discuss this even more, okay? And see how far it takes us. So I've spoken about guided access. I've introduced you, if you don't know it already, to YouTube Kids and how you can just run it as a single app on your iPad or iPhone, hand it over to your child, enable guided access, and boom, the child only sees what you want them to see. Of course, this means that some of the investments we've made in parental control software, you may find that you don't need to go that route if all you want the child to do on those devices is what you are opening up before you enable guided access. I could go on, but I have to stop, okay? I've been your host, Lawrence Eder, and I'm truly, truly so excited to share this with you. Like I said at the beginning, please share this with your friends and family. If you don't understand anything that I've spoken about, because I have been going on for a while, please, 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 please put those questions in the comments and let me engage with you and introduce you to the world that guided access has presented to us. Yes, I'm a late comer, but hey, no time is better than now, okay? I'll see you guys next week. God bless and goodbye.